Artist Production.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, Derrick Huggins, here with All Access Gospel Indie Artist Corner. And I'm so excited, you guys, to introduce to some and present to others my boy, Mr. Antwan Jordan. What's going on, Antwan?
How's everybody doing? I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well, man. Thank you for being on, and thank you for doing this because, you know, you're making history. You're one of the first artists to be a part of this brand new platform I launched here, All Access Gospel, and so excited to have you on and have you be a part of what we're doing with this platform. And so, you know, I wanted to just jump right in for all of our viewers and just first of all have them tell the people who are watching about Mr. Jordan. What can they expect? What's going on in your
world? As I can just say basically how I know it, just from Unrivaled, Georgia, little small area here. Been an artist about almost 10 years now. Minister of music, worship leader. I just play instruments and just a very humble person, very humble guy that loves serving God.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, I am from Texas, but I did live a couple of years in Atlanta, Georgia. And so I'm familiar with Warner's Robin area and a lot of other areas, smaller parts that people, when they hear Georgia, they typically think of Atlanta or Savannah. And every now and again, they think about Macon.
Yeah, which is right up.
Yeah, but I know people from everywhere, from Athens, Warner's Robin, the whole nine. So, but anyway, it's just glad to have you on, and I wanted to get on just to do this because, you know, this is a part of something that's really important that we're doing here at All Access Gospel, where we are really bringing people like yourself and throwing you out there to the global masses so that they understand that there's so much talent and anointing that is across this country, really, and that people need to have access to you guys. So this is why we're doing this particular part of the platform, because we want to help bring exposure and light to a lot of artists such as yourself. So tell us about, you know, I know you've got a project out, so go ahead and kind of tell us about that and what we can and what everybody can expect from that.
All right. Yeah. My last, my project was released back in March last year. So it's been a year, which is my EP, and it's entitled The Journey, which has two great songs on it. One of them's named Speak Life, and the other one is You Are. Very catchy songs, very easy songs to sing, and they have a positive message behind them. But, you know, the biggest thing about them is that all my songs, I try to make sure has something with dealing with the Word of God in it. So grateful for that. And then I just released a Christmas song not too long ago, but it can be Christmas or whenever you want to sing it. So
okay.
Yeah, so great stuff.
That's awesome, man. So tell us a little bit more about, you know, when you guys started singing and what prompted you to record the album, and, you know, how it's impacted people, your fan base, your support base. Tell them about all of that. How did that come about?
Okay, well, I've been singing since I was 4. We had it's kind of like a family thing on my dad's side, which the Jordan family, we're very known around this area, and then we used to be a part of a community choir called Houston County Community Choir. So which featured different people from different churches in the community. So with that, and then one of my aunts, she used to sing a part of Georgia Mass. So one of her things was her nieces and nephews was gonna sing. So, which is kind of it's a great thing because on my dad's side, it's only, well, in the immediate family, it's 4 of us. So all 4 of us sing, and only 2 of us play.
Wow.
yeah, so went with that. And when it comes to the recording, I started recording back when I was about 2011. Nothing I wanted to do. When I tell the story, it's so funny. I just told them all I wanted to do was just sing, background, play, and just write. Never expected to record, and then God put it on my heart that you need to record. And ever since then, that's what I've been doing. So I've been, grateful for it. And then with each album I put out, it's blessed everybody just by whatever's being said, things they're going through, and just each word I put in there, it blessed them. So
tell me if you don't mind, let me just kind of press in a little bit on your last album. Were you a writer for that, or did someone else write, or what? How did that come about?
Yes, I was a writer. It came about. What's the best way to say? On the journey, it came about. I went through writer's block for about a year, and one night we was getting out of rehearsal, and I was just playing around, and I started with like the song "Speak Life." I just started saying, "I speak favor over you," and that kept playing back in my head. And then I was like, I speak joy over you." And we was getting ready to have praise team rehearsal, so I told my praise and worship leader, and one of the praise team members, I was like, "Hey," I said, "y'all just follow me and let's just see what happens right here." So they followed me, and after that, I just sat there and started writing the song on the spot. And what was funny was my god sister, which she's our worship leader, she had came up with one part saying the journey may seem rough sometimes, but you just can't get above. And then we went to get to your destiny, you must be life. And
Wow.
She said that, and I was like, and we kind of played around. She said, the journey may be rough. I came up with the other part. She came with the other part, and we came up with the other part. And which was funny that after we did it, I was like, okay. So when we released the journey, I'll say about 3 days later, I don't know if folks have this app, but I got this app called Time Hop. Time Hop shows you years what you said on Facebook, shows you old pictures and everything like that. It popped up on my Time Hop from 6 years ago when I wrote "The Journey May Seem Rough Sometimes" as a Facebook post. And
Wow.
I was like, wow. So I wrote the song literally 6 years ago, and it happened in 19.
Yeah. So listen, I have a question, because you hear a lot of songwriters say that they write based on their experiences. So would you say that that's part of your journey too? Is you're writing songs that basically you identify with in life experiences? Is that kind of your motivation too?
Yeah, that I would say that's part of my motivation as well. With my album Renewed, I know for a fact a lot of those songs came through experiences I went through. And my goal was to share my testimony to others and hope that it would help others for whatever they went through. And I could say the same with Speed Life and You Are. It was basically like, these are things I don't went through, but these are ways I can encourage you as well, that you can get through whatever you're going through. And the main at the end of the day, you trust in God for whatever you're going through.
Yeah, I mean, that's so awesome to hear, because, I hear a lot of times when I'm dealing with artists, or I've interviewed or talked to them, and, they share a lot of similar experiences. And I was just curious to know too, are you working on, well, first of all, how can people find the album? Is it digitally? Like where can they get it?
Yeah, it's digitally. It's on all social outlets, what we call them.
So like iTunes
iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Spotify, all those digital outlets, you can get it. It's called The Journey, as well as my album before that was released in 2017, Renewed, is on there as well. And Christ the King is on there. So
Right.
all those are on there. You can get them on there. The Journey and Renewed, we have physical copies as well. So if anybody that wants a physical copy of those,
Because because sometimes grandma ain't down with Spotify and Tidal and all of that. Granny needs the good old fashioned CD. She can put in her CD.
Right. She want that CD that she can pop in that CD player.
Right.
And she can do what she gotta do.
I manage an artist. Her name is Robin McGinn. We talk about that a lot. That still wanting to have physical product available for people who they're a little slower to come around to what's going on in the music industry, and they're certainly don't have a smartphone. A lot of the older, no shade, but I'm just saying a lot of older people they still got flip phones, right? So they don't know anything about Spotify and Tidal and iTunes and all of this. So I always tell artists, it's always a good idea just to have a little, small reserve of physical product that people can purchase. So do you have a website that people can go check out, or?
Yes, I have a website. I'm actually working on getting it updated now.
Okay.
But the website is www.antwanjordan.com.
Now, it's a bunch of ways to spell Antwan, so you might want to spell it out for the people.
That's what I was going to do. Okay, it's ANTWAN. And Jordan, JORDAN, just like
the river.
Yeah, like the river. Jordan
River. River Jordan. That's great, man. That's great. So look, I want to know, what would you get, what advice would you offer to other maybe up and coming artists, or even people may not be an artist yet? Maybe they're thinking about it, they're aspiring to do it. What advice would you give those individuals?
The advice I would give them, and I share this with any other person that I know becoming an artist or a writer or just want to go that route. I tell them always, first of all, pray, talk to God, because honestly, it's not for everybody. It's a lot of trials. It's gonna be a lot of tests that come with it, and at the end of the day, you make sure you're humble and you submit yourself when you're doing this, because it's not easy. And especially, being an independent artist is not easy. It's a lot of sacrifice. Yeah. It's a lot of finances you have to put out, and you have to be able to take it.
You said a mouthful there. Because I get people hit me up all the time that want me to manage them, and I'm a tough manager, and only because, first of all, I don't want to ever feel like my time is wasted, but beyond that, I want to make sure I'm working with people who understand this business. And part of my job is to educate them on all of the rigors of the industry, and that includes things like sacrifice. And it's hard because, a lot of people want to be famous. They want to be on the stellar stage, right? They want to be on the Stellar War stage. They want to sell millions of records, but they don't want to put in the commitment. They don't want to put in the time. They don't want to sacrifice. And all of the sacrifice, by the way, is not just all about the money. A lot of the sacrifice is going to the studio when you don't feel like it, doing interviews when you don't feel like it. You may not feel like it all the time. Smiling when you're on at events and people, maybe you're having a bad day, but you're having to push through, and that person who wants your autograph or wants to take a picture with you doesn't understand that your body's not feeling well, right? And so these are the things you make great points that people, and I tell all you artists that are out there watching this, you need to understand that you really have to get your mind ready to do this if it's something you truly, truly want to do. So yeah, thanks for that advice, man. And any other tips you want to throw in real quick to our viewers that are out there?
Trying to think what else.
I do like what you said about staying humble, though, because I think humility goes a very long way. And I can tell you something that I'm personally turned off by. And for me, it doesn't matter what the stature of the artist is. I personally will not patronize an artist that comes across as with a diva or devo kind of attitude, or doesn't show humility. It's so off-putting. And what we have to realize is, especially as artists, people are paying to have you come to be a part of what they're doing, right? So show some grace. Be gracious, even if, again, I can tell you, I've been places where sometimes the sponsor or the person that brought us in, maybe they're doing a little much, but the thing of it is, they're the reason you have a career. And
Right.
so I always say that, be kind to your supporters. Actually be social with your social media people.
Right. Right.
These
You
artists are on
have,
social media and they don't even interact with their people. Like, come on.
right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I,
And
I appreciate you saying that. But go ahead.
And I've been blessed to meet so many great people that they have awesome attitudes. They're not stuck up. They're gonna be the same with you as they are at home, and
Right.
that's the person I'm always am. I've telling folks they so much because they'll tell me in a minute, say, remember the little people when you get up there. I said, look, it ain't about if I get up there or whatever. I said, I'm always gonna be Antwan. That ain't gonna change. I said, regardless, on a stage, sing in front of people. I said, I even go to a program and sing. If there's one person there, I'm gonna sing like I'm singing the millions because that's just me.
That's good stuff, man. That's great stuff. So look, let's have some fun right quick.
Okay.
I want to know, okay. I want to know if there's something funny, quirky, off kilter. See, we all have it. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have like this quirky thing about us or whatever. Tell the people, because I know people are. This is for a lot of people, it's going to be their first introduction to who you are as a person. So because I feel like sometimes it's always like gospel artist types, like we're always like cloak and dagger, Jesus, and it's like we're not relatable. No, seriously. Right. I really believe that a part of longevity and success in the music industry, in the gospel industry, and really any music industry is that you have to be relatable to the people you want to buy and listen to and stream your music. So tell the people, what's something crazy about Antwan? What funny, quirky, a funny story, any of that? You're like, put me on the spot.
Ooh. It's a lot of, no, I can tell you what it is about me. Okay. My faces. I make some of the funniest faces when somebody in church, it don't matter where it is. If they do something crazy, I make these funny faces. And
so, like hitting the wrong notes and, singing in between the keys.
Yeah. And I think the one I'm bad about is if we go to another church and somebody's playing and they ain't playing the song right, I'll be back down. 2, 5, what are you doing? I'm finna go get on there. And they had to tell me, I'm like, no, this ain't right. It's just like I can't stand it. It's not saying I can't stand it. It's just like when something ain't right, you be like, so, but I start making faces and I'll be like, y'all hear this? They'd be like, leave it alone. Leave it alone. I was like, okay.
Well, look, man, I'm telling you, it's so funny because, I think sometimes, there's always this thing that I think people, intuitively want to do. They want to seem like they don't laugh at stuff or whatever. Mm-hmm. The truth is we all do, right?
Right.
And but so it's good. I say this, I think it's good for people to be relatable, that you be relatable as an artist. And one of the pieces of advice I would throw out there too is, find and invest in yourself, sacrifice the finances, make sure you get a good manager. It's really, really vital. Someone that, is connected, that has, a certain level of expertise and skill as it relates to getting you where you need to be. And then also you doing the work, because it doesn't matter how much I know as a manager. I always emphasize to my artists, it's important that you are also researching this business for yourself. And then that you're picking up on the things I'm teaching you and you're really taking them to heart so that you can best position yourself to do well out here. And so that's one of the things that I always like to say to artists out there, invest in yourself, take the time to do what, and for goodness sake, please don't just rush to put something out. Make sure what you're putting out is quality, is good production. You know, it's mastered and mixed properly. All of that's so important. And even down to your artwork. You know, it's like good packaging. You go in the store, you go buy a box of cereal. I buy a box of cereal that's new, just on the packaging alone.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's all good stuff.
Yeah.
So tell us. Go ahead.
I was just saying, me and my producer was just talking about that the other day because it's a song I wrote and we was trying to put something out for Easter, and because he said, bro, he said, it's time for something different for Easter. He said, it's like the same songs that everybody know. He's like, I want you to write something. So God finally gave him a song. I wrote it and I sent it to him, and he called me the other day. He was like, I don't think we're going to get this out by Easter. I said, well, that's why I kind of wrote it where it don't have to be for a certain season. He was like, that's one thing I like about you. He said, you always going to make sure it could be relatable to a season. He said, but you can write it for any time. So, and that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing he said was, I don't want to rush it. And I said, I don't either. I said, we've done great work. And I said, and that's how we want to continue to keep that work going where nothing's not rushed. And like you said, put out there and you got bad quality and then you getting talked about. Especially if your last project sounded like great and then this dude was like, what the world going on? Right. You know, you don't want that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's important that we spend the time necessary to, you know, make sure it's right. And I'll say this too, you know, look, it's trial and error a lot of times too. So I will say this also to people who are aspiring. You can't let the fear of not having what you feel like you should have stop you, because sometimes that's the one thing that will keep you from even trying it in the first place. And the truth of the matter is, I don't care what the artist is, anybody from the Clark sisters all the way down can tell you, you know, these artists that we know of today that are in the mainstream, like Donald Lawrence and Kurt Carr and Kirk Franklin and Mary, you know, everybody had a genesis, right? They had a beginning to what they did, and they have evolved. And that's really the goal. You start where you're going to start and you evolve. And that evolution is not just about growing as an artist, but it's also about, you know, some of the quality wasn't as good in the first record as some of the latter records, right? And so it's just keep it going. Surround yourself with good people who are knowledgeable people, producers, songwriters, radio, people in retail that understand the business, legal. And I could do a whole live just on legal alone. The importance of having good representation from an attorney, because a lot of people, again, get wrapped up in these deals, whether they're management deals or they are label deals, and they don't really understand the nuances of what is being said. And so then they're thinking they have these liberties and freedoms that they don't really have. Right. So it's a cautionary tale to y'all watching that. Be on the lookout. All right, so Antwan, look, we need to know how to follow you. So how do we follow you on social media? Where do we go?
You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. My Instagram and Twitter name is Antwan J Jordan, ANTWAN JORDAN.
Yes, sir.
On Facebook, you can just type in Antwan Jordan, ANTWAN Jordan, and as well, the artist page on Facebook is Antwan J Jordan -artist, I believe. So you can follow me on all of those. I'm on there. I'm a friendly person. I'm gonna give you some encouragement, and I'm gonna make you laugh.
That part. That's great, man. Look, I want to say, asking about your social media followings, I want to just give out a free tidbit of advice to all artists that are watching this. Make all of your social media handles the same.
Right.
Seriously, that's a huge nugget.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, and I have personally dealt with this, even with All Access Gospel, I've dealt with this trying to tag someone. I'm trying to promote what they're doing, right? And I'm trying to tag them. Well, this name on Instagram worked great. But when I got to Twitter, that name didn't work. So that person didn't get tagged. And so it's so important that when you have outlets like mine, people who are trying to share your stuff and put it out there and help you, that we know how to reach you. And that is so important. So make sure all of your handles on social media is consistent. That is the same. If you need to change it, change it. Do what you need to do to make it all match. Because that's also going to help you too when people are doing Google searches and things of that sort for you. They have all that listed when it's all listed the same way. So I just want to get that free nugget from an artist manager and a social media branding expert, what you need to do to make sure. And I wasn't speaking to this to you per se, Antwan. I'm just saying to the masses out there that are watching. Because I see this, I'm talking about even seasoned artists I see doing this stuff.
Yes, that's true.
And I'm like, I can't find this person. And I'm talking about people like who we've seen on the Stellar stage, and I'm like, yikes! Like this person is a big name, and it's kind of hard to find you. Like that's not cool. And then also, you know, if you need a good website, I happen to do them. I'm a jack of all trades. What can I say? I'm 21st century.
Promote, Reverend. Promote, Reverend.
Hey, my grandma used to say, it's a sad dog that won't wag his own tail. And that's the truth. So I'm wagging, okay? So yeah, but you know, it's important that you have a good website presentation. And again, let your website name match what's on your social media. All that needs to be the same, okay? So please, I'm trying to help you help others find you, people. People out there watching this. All right, so anyway, so Antwan, again, for one more time, so you give out your social media so people can find you and let them know how they find you.
Once again, all you got to do is type in Antwan Jordan on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Antwan J. Jordan. It'll pop up. You'll see me. I think I'm holding the mic or one of those on those pictures. But you can catch me on those social media. And like Derrick said, you search me on Google, it's going to pop right on up.
And that's another thing, too. You said that when you said about the picture. Make all your profile pictures the same on your social media. So when people are searching, they're going to say, oh, yeah, that's him because he got the mic in his hand. You know, that's so important, guys, that you guys are watching this, that you make sure that all your stuff is consistent. Your contact info, all of it needs to be the same. Your bio needs to be the same. Your descriptions need to be the same. Your name needs to be the same, and your profile picture needs to be the same. So it makes it so much easier for people who want to find you. You know, you never know. Simon Cowell might be looking for you. You know, you never know. Donald Lawrence may be looking for you. Kirk Franklin may be looking for you, and he can't find you because, you know, your stuff's not updated. And so make sure if you're changing numbers and emails and all that, that you're updating, refreshing your social media regularly. You always want to be doing that, because you want to make sure outlets like ours, All Access Gospel or Gospel Today Magazine or The Root or whoever can find you to do things like this, right? So anyway, free tip, free advice, y'all take it, okay? Good stuff. So anyway, so we want to thank our boy Antwan Jordan all the way from Warner Robins, Georgia. How far is that from Atlanta, Antwan?
About an hour and a half. About
an hour and a half from the ATL. So all you ATLians out there, y'all run on over to Warner Robins and check out my boy Antwan Jordan doing his thing, praise and worship leader, gospel artist, musician, all of that, jack of all trades, songwriter. We look forward to seeing many great things from you, Antwan. And again, we thank you for sharing your time with us here on All Access Gospel in the Artist Corner. And we want you guys to support what we're doing here with All Access Gospel. Promote, and share this video with your friends. Share it with others. You can find us on www.allaccessgospel.com. You can also find us on all social media at All Access Gospel. Look us up. Let us know. We want to connect with you. We want to be in touch with you. And we're doing some great, great things. I got to plug one more time before we get out of here. All Access Gospel, yours truly, will be on the red carpet of the 35th Annual Stellar Gospel Music Awards in Las Vegas, Nevada in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited about that. I'll also be at a couple other events that are leading up to the Stellars. We're going to be at the Uncle G Records Showcase, getting some footage of that. And we're also that's going to be on March the 25th, which is that Wednesday. And then on that Friday morning at 11 a.m., I believe it is. It's the Urban Soul Cafe 15th anniversary brunch with my boy Carlos Hale. Shout out to Urban Soul Cafe. We're going to be there. I know Jonathan McReynolds is hosting and headlining, along with Bree Babineau, Zebulon Ellis, Vincent Tharp, and Kenosis, and my girl, my artist, Robin McGee, is going to be at that event, and she's also at the Uncle G Record Showcase. Is going down in Vegas. All right, and then your boy, yours truly, is going to be on the red carpet of the Stellar Awards here with All Access Gospel brand and All Access Gospel magazine. And Antwan, I'm proud to let you know tonight, brother, that you're going to be in our first issue of All Access Gospel magazine. Our premiere issue for April and May is going to be out on April the 27th. I need y'all to check that out. We're going to be online and print edition, okay? So y'all make sure y'all support this platform, allaccessgospel.com. Again, on all social media at All Access Gospel. Connect with us. Go like our page. Go share our page. Let everybody know. And if you're an artist out there that wants to be featured on the Indie Artist Corner, we invite you to hit us up at info@allaccessgospel.com or via the website, and we can talk that with you. And then we're doing an introductory rate for all artists, creatives. If you're a pastor, a church, a ministry, a business, you don't want to miss this. Introductory offer right now. We are doing, guys, something absolutely extraordinary. We're doing just $70 for the year, a whole year that you get to be featured on our website, on our social media, and in All Access Gospel magazine. You can't beat this, guys, okay? So y'all need to get on that ASAP. If you want to be a part of that, definitely hit me up so that we can get you guys involved. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I am your boy, Derrick Huggins, your host, editor-in-chief of All Access Gospel magazine. We thank you guys for tuning in to this All Access Gospel Indie Artist Corner, featuring my boy, Mr. Antwan J. Jordan. Don't forget the J in the middle. All the way from Warner Robins, Georgia. All right, y'all. I'll sign it out. God bless. Antwan, we see you on the backside. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.